think I might have just bought another car. So yeah. Oh, and also I got an exam tomorrow, and I'm flying to the Netherlands tomorrow to buy the car, but I also have the exam tomorrow, so yeah, exam stuff, yes. I'm also doing good, yeah. Okay, so a bit of a sit rep. I finished my exams about like 12 hours ago, so that's great. It went pretty well. So headed off to the airport to Oslo, and then now I'm in the Netherlands. Upon arriving to the Netherlands, I discovered that the hotel I have booked, which is called Hotel X Amsterdam Airport Hotel. So you would think like it's close to the airport and easy to get to from the airport, right? Turns out that it's about 10 kilometers away. The thing is trying to track me anyways. It's 10 kilometers away from the airport, and there's literally no way to get there via public transport, which I need to use because I don't have a car. That's why I'm here. I'm buying a car, right? So first I tried to take the train to the general area, and I got a bit closer, but still like 3 kilometers away with like just main roads, nothing. And so I ended up installing Bolt on my phone and paying someone to drive me here. So things are going great, yes. Anyways, as if that wasn't enough, tomorrow I'm going to look at the car, which has problems starting, might not run, with a plan to drive it home to Norway, 1,000 kilometers. I think overall, this is pretty stupid. All in all, I think this is not a smart thing to do. But yeah, I'm in the thick of it now, at least. So I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna get anywhere tomorrow, because there's no public transport around this hotel in any direction. It's literally a big block of hotel in the middle of nothing, and it's called the airport hotel. I mean, like, what? So for next time, definitely look at where the hotels actually are, not just go by the name. So I have to get like over 200 kilometers in the other direction from where I am now to get to the car, and I'm just gonna try and, yeah, I'm just gonna have to go and look at the car, and hopefully it runs. If not, if I can't get it to run, I will have to find a way to get back to Amsterdam and take the plane back home without having achieved anything except getting lost in a big city for the first time I'm traveling alone anywhere. So yeah, things are going great. See you tomorrow. So it is about 5 a.m. So, Netherlands, everything is very flat, everything is very tall, everything is just, I don't know what to say, so let's go. I mean, I might be wrong, but I thought that like Netherlands was like a country where you didn't need a car, you could just bike or walk anywhere. But right now it's, I'm literally walking on like a bike strip. There's no place for people to walk at all. So like, alright, maybe when I get closer to town, but yeah, definitely need to get better at hotel bookings, because this was not part of the plan. So update. I'm currently, or bike track ended, so I'm currently literally tracking along the side of the road, main road, so that's great. Yeah, definitely not the country for this. Got the keys. I'm gonna have a look around. Finally home. I mean, this one's still pretty good, isn't it? Yeah, it is. That definitely is, yeah. Right, so we're back home. We started the day by tracking alongside the main road in Netherlands, like just normal stuff, right? So yeah, did that, did a lot of public transport, which is always fun, especially in a new country. We got to the place. I had to eat something because I just suddenly remembered, oh, I haven't eaten anything for like 18 hours. So I had some food, and then I went in and I got the keys to the 480, and then I forgot to film almost all of it, because that's how it goes when you're a bit over enthusiastic about some things, like a Volvo 480, for instance. Sometimes you just do these trips and you're like, oh, I'm going to record everything and I'm going to document it like super masterfully, like, right? And then you come back from a trip and you realize you've made like 10 clips. Yeah, masterfully indeed. So yeah, I didn't end up getting the car. It had a lot of minor things, like a lot of panel gaps which were not correct. Some were like very, very bad. It didn't start. That was obviously the main problem. It had some sort of problem with either the battery or the alternator, most likely the alternator, but also maybe both, I think, actually. I mean, I didn't have a trailer or anything. I couldn't bring it home any other way than driving it. And if you don't have an alternator that's working and charging up the battery as you go, it's not gonna work right, because I got the car to start using two like jump packs, like parallel connected them to the battery or the poles, or yeah, just connected it to the car and good starting. I let it run for like 10 minutes because I thought I would let the alternator charge up the battery in the car. But after it's been running for 5 to 10 minutes, I plugged out the jump packs and it just died immediately. So there was just no charge being created in the alternator. So I couldn't drive at home, and yeah, it had just little small things like I said, with the body work, and like inside the driver's seat was in pretty bad condition, and also the more worryingly maybe was that the entire driver's seat had been relocated in the car. So like they had like put new bolts into the floor and mounted it in a new place, which was farther back, probably because like Netherlands have tall people, right? So maybe he wanted to get it further back, but it was done like really badly. So like the entire seat was like crooked, like not straight. It was just, there was small things that just, I can't like justify it really right now, but I mean, just look at that car. It's so charming and just so cool. I need to have 480, but I'll have to figure out, just basically all I'm gonna say is that this is probably not the last you've seen of the Volvo 480s on this channel. So if you're interested, then maybe consider subscribing, and we'll see if I get another 480 or what I'll end up doing, because I could end up doing a lot of different things, to be honest, because I never do anything the way I say I'm going to do it. So we'll see where it goes. But I do really want one, but like finding one is not necessarily very easy. So many of you may not be familiar with the Volvo 480. So it's basically the predecessor to my C30 and the successor to the P1800, and it is a bit of a weird one because it is Volvo's first front-wheel drive car ever, and at the time when it was being like designed and planned and everything, Volvo had a partnership with Renault, and Renault already had like front-wheel drive lines. So the engine and transmission in the 480 is actually Renault engines and transmissions, and but for the turbo model, the 1.7 turbo, Volvo actually sent that engine, the base like Renault engine, over to Porsche, and Porsche actually like did some tweaking and stuff like with the turbo and everything, and Porsche actually like meant for that engine to have around like 160 to 170, somewhere around there, horsepower reliably. But Volvo, being Volvo, it just decided to turn it down, and so we got 122 horsepower. But that does mean that we can just turn up that boost, and then we'll have like at least like 150 maybe horsepower, like no problem. And in addition to that, the suspension has been worked on by Lotus, which is probably one of the reasons why Volvo 480 has been praised for its handling, for the time, and for a front-wheel drive car. And yeah, it is just a cool car. I mean, look at it. It has pop-up headlights, you get that lower grille and just that wedge shape. It's a really unique looking car, and I just love the look of it. And also, my dad had a Volvo 480 when I was like very young, and I can barely remember it, but I do remember it, and I think it's basically one of my first memories ever, is just sitting in that car and just driving on some road. So yeah, also has a bit of sentimental value, and like being the precursor to my C30, which I'm driving now. I mean, it's just, yeah, it's a cool car, and why wouldn't you want a Volvo 480, except for the fact that since it was Volvo's first front-wheel drive car, it did have a bit of like childhood problems, like it had a lot of electrical issues and stuff in the beginning at least, and that kind of made a bad reputation for it, which is one of the reasons why many of you have probably not even heard of the Volvo 480, because Volvo has never brought it up again. It's never been used to like, oh, the new C30 is the continuation of the 480, like none of that, because it was just known to have problems and just didn't sell very well. And yeah, it was originally made for the American market with like big bumpers in front and back to like sustain 5 mile an hour impact without any damage. but it didn't actually reach the American market at all because of some historical stuff, like the financial things and stuff happening. So we only got it in Europe, and like not very many bought it, but it's like, I mean, it is just a cool car. And when you can find one, if you find one today with like in a decent shape, I mean, it's just a fun car to have in the garage, right? And to be driving around, and it's just so charming and cool with the pop-up headlights. And just, I think if you just lower it a bit and put on some nice, maybe 16-inch wheels, it's gonna be perfect. Like now I'm just obsessed, I guess. I need to have one. I was this close to buying that 480, even though it didn't run, and I had no way to get it back home because it was just so cool. I mean, yeah. So I'm just up here in the twisties in the mountain road. Shame that we can't go any faster because speed limits. Probably one of the reasons also why I want the 480 is because I need something else than this C30, because I mean, it's too good. I can't have any fun really without blasting past that speed limit. So the C30 is just too good. I mean, what else can I say? It just takes any corner at any speed, and you don't even have to think about it. It just works. Like, I mean, there's like, if I'm going the speed limit, we have some nice corners here, like SS, but you just can't. There's not cars. You just turn the steering wheel, and the car just does everything. It's just too good. It's too good. You need to have this car on a track, because that's the only way you're going to push any limits at all. So yeah, that's basically why I'm looking for a 480.